Welcome to Bloom, the podcast about motherhood without the pressure. I'm Britt, a mom navigating the season just like you. This is a space for honest conversations about real motherhood, the messy, beautiful, exhausting, and meaningful parts we don't always say out loud. Whether you're a new mom or years into the journey, you're not alone here. Let's grow through motherhood together. And today, let's chat about the biggest thing that I've learned about routines and sleep is that it's way less about control than I thought. I felt like at the beginning of all of this, I really felt like I had to control everything. And then I started to realize you can't control everything. Babies are humans. They're not robots or a formula. You can't just write things down and expect them to go the way that you have it written down or planned out on your iPhone that day. I found there was so much out there that was supposed to be helping me navigate, especially in those earlier weeks and months. And at the end of the day, it just ended up stressing me out more. There were diagrams and pictures and visuals and just different things that people have made on social media that, it'll be like a sleep routine schedule. Your baby wakes up here, you give them milk, then they go nap, then they do this, then that. Tummy time for 5 minutes, then they do this. Like, it was very structured and I felt very tense. I felt like I actually couldn't control anything because you actually can't control anything like that. And it made me feel like I wasn't doing it right. I felt like I was doing something wrong or that my baby was doing something wrong. I felt like she wasn't getting it. And it just felt icky, I guess is the best word to use. And it felt stressful. I think as we've navigated these months, now we're like 9.5 months in, I feel like I've started to realize that it's more about a flow. It's more about patterns and routines and rhythm than it is like a structured pattern. And I feel like at the beginning, we had no idea what we were doing. I had no idea what I was doing, right? My husband went right back to work within a couple weeks, I think, or a week. So it was me and Hattie all day. And I was like grasping at anything that would tell me what to do or tell me to simplify it, right? Like I was like, okay, I can follow rules. I can follow, if someone tells me turn left, turn right, turn left, I will hopefully usually turn left, turn right, turn left. So if you can tell me my baby wakes at 7, eats at 7:30, sleeps by 9, wakes up by 10. If I could map my whole day out like that, I thought, okay, I'm set. I can do that. I can follow a task list, okay? Babies don't run on a task list. They don't run on the timing that you want them to run on. They're their own little humans and they too are figuring it all out. So as much as you're trying to read your baby's cue and figure out what they need and want, they're also on the outside world trying to figure out what they want and need and also trying to figure out how to communicate that with you. So I feel like part of it is realizing, the first step is realizing that you can't control everything. Okay, so just let that go right now. If you're one of these moms who has a rigid schedule and has it all tightly wound up, release it. This is me giving you permission as a non-professional to release that. Release that stress. Because not only is it stress on you and your family, but it's stress on your baby. And your baby feels that. As much as you might not think they do. And they feed off of that tension, that tightness, that, okay, we gotta go, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. They feel that. Just let it go, okay? You can't control everything. So like I said before, we kind of went from like this rigid schedule, trying to have it all worked out, mapped out, to more of a rhythm. Okay, so rhythm over a strict schedule. For us, I started to notice patterns instead of forcing things. I could read Hattie's cues a lot better. One of the best things that I did was actually delete all of the apps and notifications and things that I had telling me what to do. Now, I get that at the beginning, you're a new mom. You have no idea what you're doing if this is your first. So I was in that boat and I remember feeling like, add in the sleep deprivation and you're like, did I even feed this baby last night? It's 3 a.m. How many milliliters or ounces, whatever we measure in, did I give them, like, et cetera, et cetera. I understand tracking and logging at the beginning, but as you start to get into a rhythm and you start to understand things a little bit more and yeah, just as you get to do it more, the best piece of advice I can give you is delete the apps, delete the notes. I have some friends that like wrote it on a piece of paper when they fed and what the schedule was. And then I have other friends who used apps. I personally used an app, and it would literally, alarm would go off on my phone to remind me to feed my baby. Couple things with that. The first thing is, I always think of it like, if you are directionally challenged like myself and you constantly use a map to get anywhere in life, you're never going to learn direction. You're never going to be able to use your mental capacity and your brain to be able to navigate you places. And so the same is when you have these apps reminding you to tell you to do all these things, you're never actually learning yourself. So part of it is like ripping off the Band-Aid, and the more you practice, the better you get. And I'm like pot meet kettle over here because I'm the one who uses the map every time she leaves the house, even if I'm going to a friend's house I've been to a million times. But in this instance, the best thing I did was delete all of the apps and notifications that were reminding me, because I was able to start trusting myself and trusting my instincts, and my motherly instincts could then actually kick in and actually work. And through that, I was able to really strengthen my bond with Hattie, and like just being able to read her cues and know what she needs versus going off of what the app was telling me she needs. So yeah, I would say that was one of the biggest things that changed and shifted my dynamic around structure and this like forced thing, was just delete the notifications, delete them, delete the apps. I think finding a rhythm that works for us is going to be a constant ebb and flow, because she's constantly changing. Like right now we're on 2 naps. Eventually she's going to go to 1 nap. Eventually she's going to start dropping bottle feeds and eating more food. And you got to flow with it. If you have this like rigid, tight schedule, how are you going to flow with her ever changing and ever adapting ways as she grows and becomes her little person, right? So I feel like finding this rhythm, which again will always change, I feel like finding this rhythm that works for you in this season or in this month or week or whatever we're mapping out to, just follow that rhythm. I found with that, I was able to become more confident as a mom, because I was able to actually read Hattie's cues and actually know what she needed. And it was less about like, okay, well, the map today, you shouldn't be crying right now because like you should be having tummy time, or, you know, this shouldn't be happening, like, and almost spinning it like this is wrong. It's okay, you're crying, you need something. What do you need? And I think truly it helped Hattie grow, and it's continuing to help Hattie grow too, because she's growing into a confident young little girl who is in a safe place to express her emotion and express her needs, because she knows that she has an attentive mother who is going to listen to what she needs. Right now it's mostly cries. She has started saying a couple things, like I know when she needs milkies, she'll go like mama, 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 and it's not like mama, because I know when mama is what she needs, mama, milkies. And when it's nap time, she'll go nay, 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 it's time for my nay, nay. She doesn't say it's time for my nay, nay, she's 9.5 months old, but she'll say nay, nay. And you know, the cue of her sucking her thumb and rubbing her eyes. I know early on, she'd be giving me sleep cues, and I'd be like looking at my printed schedule. Yes, I had a printed, almost laminated it, but didn't laminate it, schedule of, okay, it's 10 a.m. You're not supposed to be sleepy till 10:15. So like, nope, you're not sleepy. Girl, she's sleepy. Let her go to sleep. Same with like how long she should nap for, right? It was like, oh, you got to wake her up. Best advice I ever received. Do not wake a sleeping baby, or let a sleeping baby lie, whatever it is. Don't wake her. She's sleeping. She needs to sleep. Now, obviously, this goes within reason, right? Like, you're not going to let her sleep for 5 hours. That's way more sleep than she needs, depending on her age. I shouldn't say that, because, like, she slept a lot at the beginning. But, like, 9 months old now, she doesn't need to sleep for 5 hours in a day. So, you know, again, it's being smart and being adaptive, right? It's that rhythm over strict schedule, reading her cues. And honestly, that flexibility just made everything feel lighter. And so I just felt like routines were really helpful, but you couldn't force them. So having this rhythm and just made everything feel lighter over the rigidity. rigidity, I think that's a word, rigidity of a like scheduled structure, this like time blocked schedule, I felt was just too stressful. And so I think at the end of the day, it did help us. It really did help us figure out where we're at, who we are, and how we are here for each other. And like I said, it's helped Hattie adapt to who she is now at 9.5 months. She's an independent sleeper. She sleeps through the night, has been since 3 months, because I didn't force that she needed to sleep at a certain time. When she was sleepy, she'd sleep. Now we have a routine or a rhythm of, I know when her 2 naps will be approximately, but I'm not like steadfast on it needs to be at this time. Because also, newsflash, we have a life, right? Like I have a life outside of my child. Now it very much includes my child, but I have other mom friends that I want to go have coffee with, or I have errands to run. I've got groceries to get. So, there is a bit of flexibility in those times. Obviously, I'm not just like gallivanting around the world and not having her sleep during the day. Like that would just be irresponsible. So I think it's that balance of being a responsible, attentive mom, but also still doing the things that you need to do and getting the things done. And in those wake windows, utilizing her sleep schedule and wake windows when they fall, but not having them planned down to the minute of when that's going to happen. And that honestly was really, really hard for me at the beginning. It's still kind of hard for me because sometimes she naps and I don't get all the things done that I like wanted to get done in her nap because she'll wake up after a 40-minute sleep cycle versus sometimes she'll sleep for an hour and a half. So I have tried to just let it go and go into her nap times with the mindset of I will get done what I can get done in this time. If it's 40 minutes, if it's 30 minutes, if it's an hour and a half, I'll just get done what I can get done, which includes filming these episodes. So she's napping. If you see me looking down here, it's my baby monitor to make sure she is still sleeping so we can keep recording. But it's just utilizing those times and those spaces and just like getting the things done that you can get done and not being hard on yourself when you don't get this master to-do list done in one nap cycle. So I think that rhythm was really important to help release the grasp that I had and the tight grip that I had on what it was going to be like with a baby. And then the last thing was the pressure. Okay, we are here today, and all about this podcast is no pressure, motherhood without the pressure. So obviously I'm going to talk about the pressure that I felt and the pressure that as moms we feel to have our baby doing certain things, and this is what it should look like. Social media, I will always say it, is such a big one. That's where you see the day in a life of a mom and she'll show her like schedule, and like that's great. I love those. But at the same time, I hate those because I look at them and go, my baby doesn't do that. My baby isn't up and then nap and then eat and then like that's not what our day looked like. Or on social media, there's a lot of those graphics that I was talking about at the beginning of the episode where it's like a beautiful graphic that someone's made and it maps it all out, like wake window, snack or milk, and depending on their age, snack, milk, tummy time, wake window, all of those things are like mapped out on this pretty graphic for you to like follow for your day. And I'm like looking at these times going, that's not what our day looked like. First off, my baby doesn't wake up at 6 a.m. She usually wakes up at 7, 7:30, 8, whatever, right? So I find social media was a big one for the pressure. Another thing is like when you're looking at these things and watching these videos, you almost take like an inward look at it and go like, I'm doing something wrong, or my baby's doing something wrong. And you're not. And they're not. Not every child is the same, but also not any child is a robot or a formula. Everything is going to look so different for different moms and different babies. And mind you, there are, I'm sure, some families that thrive off of more structure than maybe I do and our family does. And that's completely fine and great for you and your family. But I'm here today to tell you that if you were like me and you're in the thick of it going like all of this structure and routine and rigidity, we're going to still think that's a word, is too much for me. because it probably is, and that's okay. And so I just felt like all of this pressure was just making it not fun. So letting go actually brought me more peace, and I was happier and baby's happier, and all around it just, the more relaxed I got, the better actually everything became. I became more attentive and attuned to Hattie's needs. I feel like we gained a closeness and a bond that would have only been possible with me being able to just feel her out and assess her needs of what she needs that day versus following this like rigid plan. And also, you're not doing anything wrong if it doesn't look like what social media is showing you it should look like, or what your mom group it looks like. All moms are different. I have one friend in my mom group, and I'm not going to name names, but she knows who she is, and her daughter didn't nap. So here we are, mom group of like 4 or 5 mom friends, babies all kind of around the same age. Her baby's older, and her daughter wasn't napping at all. Do you not think inward she could have easily been like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with my baby. Why won't she nap? Like, I'm talking like 6 months old. This baby was not taking a nap in the day. She was up all day and thriving. She did great. Slept through the night, went down at night, no problem. She just wanted to party all day with mom. And like, I don't blame her. Her mom's pretty freaking cool. So she's over a year now. She's thriving. She's hitting all her milestones. She is napping now. But she went through this season for a while where her daughter just didn't nap. And the daughter was okay. I think the worst thing would have been trying to force something that wasn't natural for this baby yet. And when the timing was right, now the baby naps. Baby's doing great. Mom's doing great. I'm sure she has a few more gray hairs because I'm sure those were very, very, very long days. I can't imagine. But all in all, everyone's doing great. So I think when we have this expectation on ourselves, whether it's from society or social media or friends or even just ourselves, as moms and as people, we tend to put this on ourselves. It's just not necessary. So I feel like just loosening that grip and just loosening the stress and pressure and structure is just so helpful. So that was something that was really near and dear to my heart. I feel like as we've been navigating these last few months, I've been really becoming a more confident mom because of my ability to read Hattie's cues and know what she needs. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys today that if you are a mom who's just starting out and you are printing all the printables and watching all the videos and trying to structure out your day of like tummy time and this and that, don't stress about it. Just go with the flow and enjoy, because they say these days are long, but the years are short. And I'm telling you, Hattie's she's like 9.5 months old. And I looked back the other day at newborn videos of her. I didn't realize we had videos of in the hospital, and I was a mess. I was not okay. I was bawling. And I was like, this feels like just yesterday. Like, where did this time go? So enjoy it, because it does not last long and it flies by. And everyone warned me, and I truly did not understand how fast it would go by until I was in it, and I'm still in it and continue to be in it. So release the grip. And if you're a mom and you're watching this and today didn't go perfectly, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. That is okay. We regroup, we go on with our day, and we try again tomorrow. And maybe we learn a few things and a few tricks along the way. Maybe we can reflect on, okay, maybe it didn't go well because she didn't nap long enough. Or maybe today didn't go well because we missed a bottle. Or maybe today didn't go well because it's gloomy and cloudy out. I'm not in a good mood usually when it's gloomy and cloudy. There's all these different variables. But just remind yourself today that you are doing great. And you get to come back tomorrow and do it again. And you just show up again and again and again, day after day after day. And I promise you, the more you let go, the more you release, the easier, funner, it's not a word, but funner, better it gets. Thanks for spending time here with me today. I hope today's message encouraged you. And remember, if it did, please share it with a mom friend or somebody who you think might need to hear this or might want to hear this. And remember, you're doing better than you think.